Hello everybody, Althamir here. So I wanted to give, considering this was the last PTS, whatever you want to call it, so basically this is how it's going to hit live. What are my overall thoughts on Arcanist, where it stands, how do I like it, and what build am I currently testing that I'm probably going to try to test on live, maybe. Um, so let's get into it, huh? So I'm still divided on what race to use, High Elf or Breton. Um, Overall, I feel like the magic issues are okay-ish, but not really. Like, um, the build that I'm using, well, I'm experimenting highly, we'll say, is this is an old build, by the way. Um, this is a really old build in terms of what one of the sets is, but I figure it's going to be the best for maybe this class to dish out more damage because it seems to do like a little damage, a little pressure. So what I did was I did Heartland's Conqueror because of the 5-piece passive, the 5-piece bonus, increased the effectiveness of your weapon traits by 100%. But then the other set I did was Twiceborn. It's an old set. I don't know if this set is still bought. Like I know, like for instance, Willow's Path. That thing had to have been. That thing was bugged for what, like 4 years. Um. So what I did was I was able to get both spell damage, Mudstone, and the penetration Mudstone, which is why I have spell penetration is 16, and my spell damage is at 4.9 before being buffed. The weapons I did Nirnhoned and Sharpened, which is why they're also really buffed. But if you look at, let's see this guy, how did I get that so high? Anyway, I had it at 6 at one point. Um, but yeah, this is just, I feel like the class is kind of like this ability doesn't really seem to work the way it probably should. It still doesn't follow, and I'll show you what I mean here. In terms of damage, I feel like the class is going to be very underwhelming. Um, Out of the 7 classes, I feel like it's going to be 4 or 5 in terms of damage. I feel like Warden's ahead of it. I feel like even Sorcerer is ahead of it, at least in my preference, not maybe actuality. DK, Nightblade, I just, I think the only class that might be a little bit behind it might be Templar, and limping behind is my main Necromancer, sad face. Um, so I'll just find a suitable target here, hopefully. I'm going the right way, yeah. But it's just so ridiculous, how, that definitely does not have enough health. That doesn't have enough health either. It's ridiculous, what they're letting hit live. This ability is okay. It might lack a little damage, but I feel like it's okay. This one, I feel like this ability is really good, but it's extremely situational. Yes, it does provide you a damage shield, but you'll only get the damage shield while you're casting. And as soon as it ends, it's gone. You can get nuked. So that's extremely situational. This one, the other morph's probably better, but I'm trying this one. Um, like I said, the other morph's probably better, but I use this for the mobilization, not the damage. This one, the other morph is probably better too, but because I'm kind of experimenting, so the last one explodes. I think that's also in the other morph, but I don't really know. I haven't really tested the other morph too much. This ability's fine. This ability's perfectly fine. This ability, I think, needs more damage. I think it does. I mean, if you go by dots... I mean, it is in line with dots. This is 19998 over 20 seconds. And this is 19998 over 20. So it's consistent with dots, but that just says maybe dots should be higher. And I'm not talking about like humongous here. Like instead of 19, maybe it should be, I don't know, 21, 22, maybe 23. So I'm not talking like a huge number here, you know. I just want something like God, like where in the heck is all the... I was here the other day and there was all kind... Okay, this one has 30. Okay, whatever. So just to show you here. Great animation, but see how it's like it had trouble following it. It was like lacking, it was like lagging behind, and it's just, I don't know. I just feel like the ultimate just isn't what... In PvP, people are going to be able to dodge roll, get out of there, especially with the speed boosts they might have, or heck, even if you're a Sork, or a Nightblade with Shade, or an Arcanist with Portal. You're going to be able to get away from these things. You know? And I think that's what kind of worries me. You know, let's say you're in PvP. You're fighting someone. Nice fight. Oh, no, they cast the freaking Watcher thing on me. Boom. Oh, well, now it's not touching me. And by the time it gets to me, you know, it's over. You know? And I can... By the time it actually finds me, I might be able to go through that portal again before it disappears. And boom, now I'm back over here. And I didn't take any damage from it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it just makes no sense. I feel like the tanking line is where Arcanist shines. I would probably put... These are bothering me. I'd probably put, like, tanking... Probably, like, very high, you know, higher up. It'd probably, like, an A tier. You know? If you're gonna go by the tiers that all these other YouTubers use, damage would be, like, a C tier. Maybe B-ish tier, but really a C tier to me anyway. Damage, tanking would be an A tier. Healing, I think healing would probably, I hate to say it, maybe would be also a C tier or maybe even a D tier. Because, I mean, these are good, but I don't know. I mean, this looks really cool. I love the look of this ability. You know, but overall, I don't know. I just think it kind of lacks. The healing kind of lacks, I think. You know, I do like the portal ability better than most. It is buggy, but I do like what you can do with it. There is one thing I wanted to test with it, in case you guys have not seen my other video. I do like that you can cast this and go through this. What do you mean? I'll show you. Boom. Boom. That's what I mean. You can cast the Carver while you're going through this here, in case someone tries to get away. So that's kind of neat. And what I like, and this ability, and you know, and that's really cool. And what I like about the build I'm using is, for whatever reason, I'm leaning into the fact that this class lacks magic recovery. I mean, not really. I mean, I've kind of put it up to 1.7, but this class kind of has a regen problem. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to lean into damage, but still try to make myself pretty tanky. You know, you can still make yourself pretty tanky. Yeah, I'm at 26, 31, and 29. My back bar and my magic recovery is 2.4. I mean, that's really good for temporary, for class. That's why I say tanking is going to be where this class shines. Because look at my recovery, look at my health recovery, look at my stamina recovery, look at my resistances, you know. And then you go on my front bar and look where my spell pen is, and even where my spell recovery is. So I mean, you can get high damage. So that's where this class is gonna have some fun. I think. I mean, I'm doing no the controversial monsters that I'm doing Damihas, and the reason why I'm doing Damihas is for this reason, not the damage, not really. Damage is okay if people happen to be dumb enough to stand in it, but what I'm doing it for is a lot of the Arcanist class, too, is standing in one place. Like look at this. I'm forced to stand in this place. Okay, well, if I'm gonna stand here, I might as well get some spell damage out of it, right? So that's where Damihas comes in. So we're gonna do, let's see, Alright, so while this is guys, look, I'm at 5.5 right now. 5.5 spell damage while this is going. So that is in this 5.1. That's crazy. And you saw it when a video first started. I was at like 6 something. Like, that's crazy. So there's potential here. It's just, I don't know. I feel like certain things are lacking, but we'll see. The beauty thing is what will really be the tell is when people get it in PvP and Cyrodiil. But there's definitely like this to me, this passive makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me because the class in itself has no status effects besides frost. So I think one thing does bleeding, I think, but I couldn't find that myself. But there's no status effects. And even if it does, let's say it does do bleeding, that's only one status effect versus how many are in the game. So you have to like kind of weigh out like this passive makes no sense. It would make more sense if you did one that did like dot damage because there seems to be, a little bit more dot damage. This one does kind of dot damage. This is a channel, but also kind of like dot damage, right? It just makes sense. This is dot damage. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Overall, I'd give the class, if I had to sum up all the different, the damage tier, tanking tier, and healing tier for those who skip to the end just to see if I'm still blabbering. Damage is probably a C tier. Tanking's an A tier. And healing is probably a C or a D tier to me. Those are my opinions. I could be wrong. I'm not like I got a chance to test healing all too much. I think I only did like one battleground as a healer. So I was only trying to base it off of just running around, the Telvanni Peninsula and Apocrypha healing people doing dumb things and seeing how it works and just going off tooltips and how I felt. And so all those together, I'd probably give Arcanist a solid B tier, maybe like a low B. I mean, it's definitely, I think it's hitting better than Necromancer did. I mean, with Necromancer, we had Blast Bones that only worked for a week, and then this animation got changed, and it got completely effed up, and it didn't work for, like, I think a solid year. Blast Bones doesn't work, and it still doesn't really work that well. We had the skeletal summons that's kind of, people only really use it for the penetration, that's it. You Boneyard, that's lots of uniqueness. So I mean, Necromancer's really limping around. You know, it's not in good shape. So Yeah, I think at least I can say that Arcanist definitely will hit live better than Warden and Necromancer did, I think. This is still buggy. It doesn't follow the target. The targeting system is really wonky. The same with this one. The targeting system is really wonky. It's really situational. This is kind of situational. In terms of ultimates, out of all the three ultimates in the Necromancer and Arcanist, this is the one I'm probably going to be using. This one will probably be here. Back bar will probably be, if I do this one, will probably be um, this one, this ability here. This isn't going to be my bar, but if I had to quickly put my bar together, I'll probably go something like this, or maybe even this here for even more spell damage. If I wanted to, let's see, you could do smiting here instead. If you're gonna do melee, and do this here instead, that even gets your spell damage up, your spell weapon damage up right even higher. That would probably be closer to. I probably wouldn't have this on my bar really, because it's kind of situational. So I'd probably have this off my bar, and see. I'd probably do something like this, just to get that hemorrhaging, because it's a status effect, and I gotta lean into it. I gotta have something that leans into it, right? So that's probably more or less what my bar would look like. I'll probably go with the other morph of this and this, but right now I'm liking these two. Um, this would probably be more or less my bar on this back bar, you know, but this would probably be my bar here. Not too bad. I don't know about Twiceborn Star, but I think that's the best bang for your buck. That's the build I'll be using. I guess this would technically be part of my fun build series, but not really. Um, I didn't really go into depth too much about this, but you know, I am using Smoke Bear Hotch, but you can do something else if you like. I just think you get the best you could do. I think that's one of the best ones. You could go Jewels of Misrule, but overall disappointed. But at least it will hit live better than Necromancer. Now, for those who are curious about my fashion, it is something that's called Grave Grasp. Apparently, it's part of the. I'll show you. It's part of the Imperial City Merit Siege things you get from the daily quest. I'll show you in a sec. Um, this is definitely a house I'm buying, by the way. This house is amazing. Like seriously, check out my video on this house. This house is so cool. All right, so how can I? Jesus Christ, I'm stupid. All right, so yeah, acquired by combining 20 Siege of Cyrodiil merits available by completing district quests in the Imperial City with a Siege of Cyrodiil honor available for purchase from the Telvar General Merchants in Imperial City. Now, I don't know if this drops with this update, but it's in PTS. I really like this. The other one's Gravegrass. I did Knowledge Eater here. Gravegrass, Knowledge Eater. But I really like this style, mainly because I can kind of look like Skeletor, right? Kind of. Closest I'll probably get to him. That's what the purple comes from, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if this is coming with Necrom. I don't remember reading that in the patch. But if this is available to test, I love it. And I can't wait for it. So, yeah, what do you think of Arcanist? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? I will say that right now, I'm just glad that even though I did buy Necrom, and I do recommend buying Necrom, I certainly didn't buy it for this class. I didn't buy it for Tales of Tribute either, or Bastion Mimics, because I don't do force group content. You know, for me, it's more is why I bought it. I'm gonna have fun with that whole quest and the zone and Apocrypha. I can't wait. It's gonna be so exciting. I really can't wait for that. But let me know your thoughts. Do you regret buying Necrom if you bought it? If you bought it for Arcanist, hoping it was going to be great, you know, what do you think? I would say, even though my patch notes were kind of, you know, down in the dumps, like depression trip, I would say hold off on being too sad about Arcanist because the real test will be Cyrodiil PvP. Real Cyrodiil PvP. That will be the test. The first week that Arcanist is out, and these ball groups and these elite PvPers are out there with other elite PvPers in like a Grey Host kind of a situation where they can actually do these 1vx's and actually really test this class. That's the real test, unfortunately. So we'll see then. Once these guys get their hands on it and really start toying around it, I think Portals is going to be a lot more popular than people think. I think there's going to be a lot of fun with that, especially the fact that you can cast abilities while going through it. I think that will be a lot of fun. I don't know if you can cast abilities through it. I don't think so, but anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, as always. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate the fact that you guys click on these videos and watch these. It really does mean a lot to me. I do these things for fun, to be annoying and pretend just for 10, 15, 20 minutes that my opinion actually matters when it does not. So, thank you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I try to release videos every day, but I try to release videos as much as I can. I would say weekly, anywhere from like 3 to 7 videos, like a week. I try. Depends. Depends on topics going through my brain. So, anyway, I will see you guys in the next one, and have fun out there.